हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम.
Dandavat Pranam. So we invite Her Grace Padmavati Mataji, the original name Puja Kaba,
Right.
and let us see as to on 2.64 shloka, which is very, very important after 2.62 and 63. Tell us in brief, and as much time you have got free to tell us the importance and what we learn from that, so that the persons like Harish Sani, they are fully satisfied, and then they know what is the form of a bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Agyanam Timrandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayrupa Kadamayam Dadati Sopadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda. जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. होलीनेस गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. प्लीज ग्रेस रूप प्लस प्रभु जी की जय. सभी भक्त वृंद की जय. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय. जो भी भक्त उपस्थित है सबको दंडवत प्रणाम. ओके, सो आई रीड द श्लोका 2.64 ना प्रभु जी.
Yes.
राग द्वेष विमुक्तस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियाश्चरन् आत्मवस्य विधेयात्मा prasadam adhigachyate. Raga is attachment, dvesha and detachment, vimukta by one who has become free from. Tu is but, vishayan is sense objects, indriya by the senses, charan acting upon, atmavashya under one's control, videya atma one who follows regulated freedom, prasadam the mercy of the Lord, adhigachyati attains. But a person free from the attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So Lord is clearly mentioning कि जो भी मनुष्य proper knowledge के साथ, proper devotional practice and proper bhakti के साथ मुझे approach करता है, and he is following all the regulative principles strictly, that person can get free from all his attachments. And in the previous two shlokas which we saw, dhyayato vishaya pumsa sangaste upajayate sangat sanjayate kama kama krodha vijayate. There Lord clearly mentions, while contemplating the objects of senses, a person develops attachment for them. तो हमें किस attachment से free होना है? Lord is explaining that what attachment you have to get free of. So here they are saying that the more time you contemplate, आप जितना समय objects को देते हो, sense objects को, which are actually outside you, and the more time you're giving and contemplating on them, thinking about them, how to fulfill your desires, you're planning how to make a plan to fulfill your desires, all this, how much time you're doing, you're getting attached to those objects. And आपकी इंद्रियां जो है भगवान की तरफ जाने के बदले, जो एक्चुअली आत्मा का रियल पर्पस है, they are running towards the sense desires. And because we have no guidance, no guru, no shastra, we may sometimes just suppress our feelings. But those suppressed feelings, they again come up. क्योंकि आपने नॉलेज से किसी चीज को हटाया नहीं मन से. आपने मन में सप्रेशन क्रिएट किया कि वी शुड नॉट डू दिस, ये ठीक नहीं है, वो ठीक नहीं, बट यू डोंट हैव एक्चुअल नॉलेज. जो नॉलेज से हम अपने आप को क्लियर कर सकते हैं कि व्हाई आई शुड नॉट डू, व्हाई आई शुड नॉट एंटेंगल माई सेल्फ मोर एंड मोर इन दिस मटीरियल वर्ल्ड. So that knowledge is very important. The regulative principles, the devotional practice, Navada Bhakti, these all things, they change our direction. Topmost is the Guru. If you have a bona fide spiritual master from the disciplic succession, he is going to explain you, he is going to give you that chakshu, that vision to see which attachments are holding you back. And then again, as Prabhuji said at the time of death, अगर आप इन्हीं सब में फंसे हो तो आप बार बार यहीं आते रहते हो. We create our own space again and again. While contemplating the object of senses, a person develops attachment for them. And from such attachment, lust develops. And from lust, then anger arises. So this is a process. One who is not Krishna conscious is always subjected to material desires. आपका जो main purpose है, जो मनुष्य योनि था, वो था कि you have to come, you have to revive your lost consciousness. The forgetfulness of the Lord which had happened, आपको रिवाइव करना था. But because we had no guidance and neither we had so many punya karmas or we had not done bhakti in our previous birth also, then we did not get any path, spiritual path. But now that we are here and with proper knowledge and regulative principle and devotional process and the guidance of the Guru, we can get out of this entanglement of the material naysayance. It is not that आप जैसे आए हो आपको वैसा ही जाना पड़े. We have something called a free will in between, and we have the free will to get over our attachments, to come to the transcendental, Shuddha Bhakti zone. तो वहां पे क्या होता है? By doing akarmas, automatically our sins get burnt. In the current life, you don't make many more karmas, new ones, and your future becomes much better. So Lord is clearly explaining one who is not Krishna conscious is always subjected to material desires while contemplating the object of senses. The senses require actually real engagement. So what is this real engagement? Our senses, they are apurna. Only Lord is complete. So जिस प्रकार से अगर हाथ शरीर को नहीं जुड़ा हुआ है तो उसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. तो हमारे सेंसेस जितना भी मटेरियल के पीछे भागे, they will never be satiated because that is not the real food for them. The real food is actually for the soul is chanting, reading shastras, and improving your intelligence. Chanting purifies the mind, and when you do real seva as per told by your guru, then your false ego takes a back seat. Otherwise there is no getting out of all this. So there is no real engagement actually of the senses when they are materially running. And if they are not engaged in the transcendental loving service of God, they will certainly seek engagement in the service of materialism. जैसे मन थोड़े भी समय के लिए खाली नहीं बैठ सकता, मन को कुछ ना कुछ एंगेजमेंट चाहिए होता है. अगर कुछ नया नहीं मिलता है तो इट कीप्स ब्रोडिंग अबाउट द पास्ट ऑल्सो. तो मन हमेशा इट सीक्स सम काइंड ऑफ एंगेजमेंट, and if that engagement is not properly provided, if food for soul is not given, then it will become food for the mind. And what will happen to such a mind? From anger, complete delusion arises. Whenever our desires get fulfilled, we become more greedy, and when they are not fulfilled, we are very angry about it. Krodha bhavati samoha sammot smriti vibrama smriti brasmat buddhi nasho buddhi nashat pranayashati. So from anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. हमारी memory कैसे हो जाती है? It has no base, so it gets shaken up. When memory is bewildered, intelligence get completely lost. क्योंकि हमने शास्त्र कभी पढ़ा नहीं, we have no base, we have no information, we have no foundation. So we are not able to stabilize our mind. And when intelligence is lost, one again falls into the material pool. It means at the time of death, if I go away in such a confused state, then I made already my way backwards. Again, I'll fall in the same material existence. And again, if I don't take up to bhakti, अगर भक्ति को हमने नहीं सिंसियरली लिया इस भी जन्म में, तो अगेन वी आर मेकिंग वे बैक. अगेन हम पता नहीं कौन से माइंडसेट से चले जाएंगे, पैशनेट या इग्नोरेंस, एंड अगेन हम 84 लाख योनि में भी जा सकते हैं. दिस इज अ रिस्क ऑफ ह्यूमन बर्थ. कि ये भी पॉसिबल है कि अगर हम बहुत खराब सोच में है, इफ वी आर इन द तामसिक बुद्धि व्हेन वी आर लीविंग द बॉडी, then again we have to go through 84 lakh yonis, and then again you will get one chance, which is this chance. मनुष्य योनि एक और एक चांस है, वो एक डोर है जहां आप वापस जा सकते हैं, बैक टू गॉड है. So I'll read the purport. It is already explained that one may externally control the senses by some artificial process, but unless the senses are engaged in the transcendental loving surface of God, there is every chance of a failure. So what is a failure? अगर आपका मन बुद्धि अहंकार भगवान में लग गया है, so there is very less chance that a fall down happens. And even when the fall down happens, Lord has said in the further chapters that I take care of that devotee. I don't leave him. आपने इतने टाइम समय भक्ति करी है और अगर आपका कुछ फॉल्ट भी हो जाता है, I take care of you. I preserve whatever you have. I provide you whatever you lack. So bhakti path is the most safest path. But other path which we are doing material, if you are passionate also, if you are ignorant also, whatever you are doing, you are creating a lot of entanglement in the material world. So there is a full chance of fall down. Complete fall down हो सकता है बुद्धि का. मनुष्य सात्विक बुद्धि से राजसिक में आ सकता है, राजसिक से तामसिक में भी आ सकता है. पर in bhakti it is ulta. From tamsic you go ahead to the rajasic buddhi, from rajasic you may travel to the sattvic and then shuddha sattvic. So the fall down chances in bhakti is less, and even if you fall down, you have devotee association, you have your guru, there is bright chance that you again get up and you walk the path. Although the person in full Krishna consciousness may apparently be on the sensual plane, because of his being Krishna conscious, he has no attachment to sensual activities. So एक Krishna conscious person और एक normal person में क्या difference है? ये भी जीवन जी रहा है, ये भी जीवन जी रहा है, दोनों मटेरियल को यूज भी कर रहे हैं, बट जो मनुष्य कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में है वो मेक श्योर करता है कि मेरे जितना भी मेरे पास जो भी पोटेंशियल है, आई एम पुटिंग इट टू कृष्णाज यूज, because he is my father. He knows that he is a seed giving father. I have to share with the complete. Lord Krishna is complete in himself. I am incomplete. All the Jivatmas are incomplete. So even if two Jivatmas are sitting and sharing something, they both are incomplete. No two Jivatmas can complete each other or help each other to come out of the karmic circle. Only Lord knows your past, present, future. And accordingly he gives us karmas to face. भगवान हमारे कर्मों, प्रीवियस कर्मों के अनुसार हमें फल देते रहते हैं. And when you are in bhakti, this fall comes and checks you कि where have you reached. माया देवी हमें चेक करती है, एंड द मटेरियल एनर्जी जिसके पीछे हम इतनी दौड़ लगा रहे हैं, वही माया देवी भगवान के चरणों में दासी है इन द स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड, बट वी डोंट नो अबाउट इट. सो वी आर फुल प्लेजरली सर्विंग माया. तो माया की सेवा करने से छुट्टी नहीं मिलने वाली. छुट्टी तब मिलती है जब आप माया को प्रूव करो कि आई एम अ ट्रू डिवोटी, एंड देन शी विल मेक योर वे बैक होम. वही मन जो आपके अगेंस्ट था, वही मन क्या करेगा, आपको हेल्प करेगा गोइंग बैक टू गॉड है, ऑन द पाथ बैक टू गॉड है. The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Therefore, he is transcendental to all the attachments and detachments. So Lord is saying, by doing bhakti, continuous bhakti, satatam kirti antoma, क्या होता है कि you come to a stage where you're doing everything. You're eating food, you're wearing clothes, you're doing everything, whatever people are doing in material world. But now your internal mentality has changed. You're eating only prasad. You're trying to give more time to Shastra. और आपकी जितनी अर्निंग है, you're trying to think how do I put in Krishna's use. So that is a change of mentality. The entire thinking process has been purified by chanting, by Lord's mercy, by Guru's blessing. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. हम सब बद्ध जीव है, very very conditioned soul, and we are all under the jurisdiction of the Lord. The entire Maya is under the jurisdiction of Lord. All living entities are under the control of the Lord. He is a superintendent. So what happens is, under Lord's guidance and mercy, जो हमारे डेस्टिनी में कभी नहीं भी हो, जैसे श्रीला प्रभुपाद, he went all the way alone. एक alone person को इतनी बड़ी आर्मी खड़ी करना of devotees, soldiers who are fighting against Maya, and then so many temples, it is not ordinary. It's a very very extraordinary, very auspicious thing जो उन्होंने किया. But how was it possible? Lord is saying, I make the extraordinary things possible for you because you're serving me. I'm indebted to you. लॉर्ड भगवान कभी किसी की सेवा सर्विस खाली नहीं जाने देते. तो श्रीला प्रभुपाद ने जो एक अलोन पर्सन का मिशन किया, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. ही डिड इट. He made so many devotees, and till now in the West, the culture is followed so strongly. So Lord is saying, if you are my devotee, the change in your life will be that ordinary things which you people, extraordinary things which you couldn't even think of, I'll make it just ordinary for you. मैं उसके लिए एकदम इजी कर देता हूँ आपके लिए सब कार्य, क्योंकि आई एम द हेड और आई एम द मास्टर, आई एम द महेश्वरम ऑफ दिस एंटायर यूनिवर्स. एंड लॉर्ड इज सेइंग ही शैल नॉट डू दैट विच वुड हैव ऑर्डिनरीली डन बाय हिज ओन सैटिस्फैक्शन. और कितनी बार तो मनुष्य छोटी छोटी चीज भी नहीं कर पाते अपने लिए. दे कैन नॉट फुल्ली सेटिस्फाई देमसेल्व्स. Therefore, to act or not act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. So like Srila Prabhupada, when he was traveling and he got 2 heart attacks, so he made it very clear to the Lord that, see Lord, I'm traveling because I have faith in my Guru's words. I'm not traveling, मुझे अपने satisfaction के लिए कुछ नहीं करना, मुझे name, praise, fame कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए. He was checked. The 2 heart attacks were checked and he got out of it. So Lord Krishna, before giving him that post of a very high sincere devotee, he already checked Srila Prabhupada. He passed the test and he proceeded towards the West. And he told Lord, I'm a puppet in your hand. I'm not doing anything as per my will and wish. I know it's you who is working through me. So जिस मनुष्य को, जिस सेंट को इतनी क्लैरिटी आ जाती है कि Lord is doing his things through me, So such a person is successful. He doesn't get depressed when things go wrong. He doesn't get very, उनको pride नहीं आती when things are in his favor. वो दोनों चीज भगवान के चरणों में रख देते हैं. Both things they surrender to the Lord, whether it is pride or whether it is any kind of depression or a failure. So they don't get affected by it because they know that if I purify myself, I become an instrument for the Lord. Now He is speaking through me. He is doing things through me. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord, which a devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. So Lord is nowhere said कि आप अपना घर बार छोड़कर आप जाके मेरी सेवा करो. आप मेरे को you will only get me in the forest. He's nowhere written it. He's just saying you're working on the sensual platform. You're a grasta also, but still you can be purified. So if you are trying to seek help, if you're trying to do bhakti in a proper way, I send you the desired help. मैं आपको help भेजता हूँ. I send you entire devotee association. I send you the shastras. I send you every help possible because आपका जो पुण्य जमा हो गया, आपकी जो भक्ति जमा थी पिछले जन्मों की, मैं उसको भी वेस्ट नहीं करना चाहता. We know about the Gajendra moksha also. Gajendra in the animal हाथी की योनि में भगवान ने उनको स्मरण करा दिया सारे prayers का. After 1000 years of fighting also, Lord had some mercy. So they are saying Lord has causeless mercy on his devotee. He is Sarva Karana Karanam, Govindam Adi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami. It's written in Brahma Samhita. He has causeless mercy over the Jivatmas. He still thinks कि मेरा जो बच्चा नीचे गया है धरती पर वो अपना कार्य करता रहेगा पर मुझे भी याद करेगा. And someday he will look back to me. Someday तो उसको कुछ ना कुछ realize होगा, something is missing and he will look back. I will provide him with everything. So he's always waiting. Lord is like a parent who is always waiting for us. So Prabhuji, I have a little more explanation, 10 minutes more. Okay. Lord is saying, it is not very easy for everyone to follow all the strict rules and regulations, focus their mind on the super soul, restrain their senses, and try to remain alone. This is not everybody's cup of tea in Kali Yuga. Because Kali Yuga mein, people are very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. उनको सब मिलने के बाद भी spiritual side आने के बाद भी they use their mind. Chal kapat. So that doesn't help. On the spiritual path, Lord is saying that doesn't help you. That is a part of the material world. So when you come here, we should always try to purify ourselves as much as possible. Because Lord is going to take care. By practice of Krishna consciousness, however, one can still engage in the 9 types of Navda Bhakti to the Lord. The most important among them is hearing. The more one hears about Krishna, the more he or she becomes very enlightened and detached. So this process of Vairagya, it doesn't come simply in one day or 1 month or 1 year. This process of Vairagya starts when we sincerely start hearing about the Lord. As soon as we start hearing, the Lord jumps on our heart like he jumped in Kalia's head and all the poison was spat out. सारा जो अंदर मन में काम, क्रोध, मोह, लोभ, अहंकार भरा हुआ है, वो धीरे धीरे करके बाहर आता है. It doesn't happen in one go. So Lord is saying, I help you. I help you eventually, but for that you have to give me time. You have to chant. You have to read. You have to listen very carefully what is being told. So हम material world को थोड़े हल्के में ले चलता है, पर भगवान की कोई भी बात, गुरु की कोई भी बात, we should try not to take it for granted. It's very, very important in our life. The more one hears about Krishna, the more he or she becomes enlightened and detached from the sense gratification activities. Because now the mind has got a higher taste. What we call a higher taste, Shuddha Sadhvik Bhakti is a very, very high taste. तो जब माइंड को हायर चीजें मिलती हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली इट लीव्स द लोअर एंगेजमेंट्स. क्योंकि मन को कुछ चाहिए. मन को आप खाली नहीं रख सकते. अगर जैसे मन को रियल एंगेजमेंट नहीं मिला तो मन किस में जाएगा? भटकेगा. ब्रह्मांडे भ्रमिते कौन भाग्यवान जीव, गुरु कृष्ण प्रेम पाए भक्ति लता. तो मनुष्य भटकता है. राजसिक, तामसिक, सात्विक तीनों मोड्स में भटकता रहता है. पर जब उसे शुद्ध सात्विक भक्ति का टेस्ट मिलता है, नेक्टर मिलता है, and he really wants to absorb it, तब भगवान कहते हैं the change starts coming. The change will come in you. And I promise you, because I am doing your cleansing. He or she becomes enlightened and detached from sense gratification activities that actually draws the mind away from Krishna. अब जो जो एक्टिविटीज मटेरियल एक्टिविटीज है, मैक्सिमम टाइम दे ड्रॉज अवे फ्रॉम कृष्ण, दे डोंट टेक अस क्लोजर टू कृष्ण बिकॉज दैट इज सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन, मैं अपने लिए कर रही हूँ. पर व्हेन यू हैव टू गो टुवर्ड्स कृष्णा, आई एम यूजिंग ऑल माय पोटेंशियल लाइक अम्बरीश महाराज, हाथ पैर सारे सेंसेस एवरीथिंग फॉर द यूज ऑफ द लॉर्ड. मुख से भगवान का नाम करना है, प्रसाद खाना है, आई से उनका दर्शन करना है, हाथों से उनका सेवा करना है, पैरों से उनके मंदिर में चल के जाना है, to use all my body and all my senses for the Lord. So now these activities will take you towards the Lord. Vairagya means detachment from matter and attachment to the spirit soul. What is a true vairagya? वैराग्य मतलब नॉट कि मैंने सब छोड़ दिया. इट्स नॉट दैट वे. क्योंकि आर्टिफिशियल छोड़ने से क्या होगा, वापस से वो आएंगे थॉट्स. मन बहुत तगड़ा है ना. मन मम माया धुरते देवी ऐसा गुणमयी मन मम माया धुरते, उसमें भी भगवान ने बोला है कि मेरी माया इजी नहीं है, यू कैन नॉट ओवरकम इट. फिर से आती रहेगी आपको चेक करने के लिए. और कितने ऋषि मुनि अटक गए इसमें, so many of them. So Lord is saying that vairagya means that you are detaching from matter, right? But you are attaching to Krishna. At the same time, your bowl is full. अब माया ही निकल गई हमारे अंदर से, तो अंदर कौन क्या करेगा, खाली हो जाएगा. That is not possible. Again the mind will run. So you have to fill yourself, absorb yourself with Krishna consciousness. That is the whole process. You are elevating your consciousness. So just like we have physical hunger for food, our soul is also very hungry for spiritual development. Our soul keeps hankering for devotee association, devotional services, love and guidance from a bona fide guru, knowledge from the shastras, etc. Only by discharge of this devotional service one will feel the transcendental satisfaction in life. The real satisfaction will only come when you're connected to the whole. Lord is complete whole and we are incomplete. When till you don't connect to him, we can never feel the real satisfaction. Even if you become a Ambani, you're moving in the car which is crores of rupees, but that is not the cause of your soul satisfaction. And my mind starts getting detached from the material activities gradually. ये पूरा प्रोसेस भगवान क्या बोल रहे हैं, ग्रेजुअल. धीरे धीरे मन को अच्छी चीज मिलेगी, बुरी चीज छोड़ते जाएगा. धीरे धीरे होगा ये प्रोसेस. बट द प्रोसेस इज डिवोशनल सर्विस ओनली. भक्ति ही वो प्रोसेस है जो आपको बाहर निकाल सकती है. आर्टिफिशियल कोई प्रोसेस है ही नहीं. हरेर नाम हरेर नाम हरेर नाम एव केवलम कलौ नास्तेव 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 गतिरन्यथा. ओनली दिस ओनली दिस ओनली दिस. It is like curing a disease by expert treatment and appropriate diet. जैसे हम बीमार पड़ते हैं, we go to expert doctor. So Lord देखते हैं कि इसका भी भक्ति भी जमा है, पुण्य भी जमा है. So he takes us to expert guidance, a guru, a bona fide spiritual master who is a representative of God. He treats us. He gives us appropriate diet for the soul. कि आप ये activities करो and this will lead you to God consciousness. Hearing about Krishna as an expert treatment for the mad mind and eating his prasad is appropriate diet for the suffering jivatma. This treatment is the process of Krishna consciousness. By following this process, we can easily and successfully get out of the clutches of Maya, illusion, and also from the cycle of birth and death. So this is the only process which is recommended by Shastras, Bhagavatam, etc. That this is the only way to come out of Maya. And once you are the servitor of the Lord, you have accepted your constitutional position and you're serving the Lord in any one rasas, you will carry that rasa with you to the Goloka. And you will serve the Lord in the same way. But if you've not developed any love for the Lord, no Krishna Prem, and at the end of the life, you're thinking all about the mundane activities, then you will come back to the mundane activities. That's all the Lord is saying. You get what you do. It's not me the deciding factor. आप अपनी destiny अपने आप बना रहे हैं. So only Lord Krishna and Krishna conscious activities can save us from attachments, sensual pleasures, and all the miseries of the material world. It can help us to change our lives from tamasic levels to Shuddha Sattvic levels. It can elevate us from the lowest platforms of sense gratification to the highest platforms of devotional service. Okay, Prabhuji, can I take 5 minutes more?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
5 minutes more? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So Krishna wants us to understand that to take shelter of the mind and false ego is to take shelter of Maya. मैं माया में हूं, ये मुझे किस प्रकार मालूम पड़ता है? मेरा मन तेज चलता है, मेरी बुद्धि गलत दिशा में दौड़ती है. आई एम ऑलवेज इन कॉम्पिटिशन, कंपेरिजन, जेलेसी, एंगर, ईगो. मुझे अच्छा ही नहीं लगता किसी का अच्छा देखकर. इट मीन्स दैट आई एम वर्किंग फ्रॉम द माइंड प्लेटफॉर्म ओनली. सो जस्ट बिकमिंग स्पिरिचुअल डजंट मीन कि मेरा माइंड चेंज हो गया. चेंज करना एक प्रोसेस है. बट टिल आई एम ऑपरेटिंग फ्रॉम दैट सेम लेवल ऑफ ईगो, लॉर्ड इज सेइंग नथिंग इज चेंज्ड इन यू. आपके अंदर कुछ बदलाव नहीं आया है. क्योंकि फॉल्स ईगो हैज टू चेंज टू ट्रू ईगो. फॉल्स ईगो मतलब आई एम द बॉडी, एंड ट्रू ईगो मीन्स आई एम द लॉर्ड सर्वेंट, दास दासानु दास. Rather, let us cross over the insurmountable ocean of nescience by becoming firmly fixed in the service of Lord's feet, Krishna. So Lord is saying, इतना जो insurmountable ocean है, जो माया है, जो हमें इतनी बड़ी लगती है कि कैसे हम इसको क्रॉस करेंगे, उसका सिंपल तरीका भगवान ने बताया कि यू हैव टू ओनली फॉलो द पाथ ऑफ भक्ति, डिवोशनल प्रोसेस, एंड एवरीथिंग विल बी फाइन फॉर यू. ऑल योर अटैचमेंट्स will be severed, it will be cut by the cords of bhakti. Otherwise, attachment chhodna is not a easy job. The task of finding our real shelter and then surrendering to that shelter has been approved by our previous acharyas. Now, how do we get faith that this path is correct? We have to see our Goswamis, we have to see our acharyas, we have to see Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. So they are all firm proofs. They were firm and fixed in their devotional acts, and hence they could cross the naysayers, who were all fixed in firm devotion to the Supreme Lord. None of the acharyas has recommended listening to the mind and the senses because they appear to be nectar initially. See, मन की बातें है ना थोड़े समय के लिए अच्छी लग सकती हैं, लेकिन उसका जो रिजल्ट आता है ना वो बड़ा बुरा रहता है. और हम जो सीड सो कर रहे हैं ना अभी, वी हैव टू ईट द फल. ऐसा नहीं कि आप सीड अलग सो कर रहे हो और फल अलग आए. तो जब हम कुछ कार्य करते हैं, when we are sowing the seeds, if that time we are alert, we are more knowledgeable, we are more aware, तो फल जो आएगा ना वो बेटर हो. And if we are working through mind, the seeds are wrong, तो हमें फल खाने में बहुत दिक्कत होती है. The फल is not nectar, the फल is very poisonous. Sorry, I'll just come again. None of the acharyas has recommended listening to the mind and senses because they appear to be nectar initially, but actually they are poisonous for our spiritual growth. Rather, they have all given us the sadhana bhakti and chanting Krishna's holy names with controlled and equipoised mind. So when you do sadhana bhakti, when you're continuously in sadhana bhakti, what happens? Your mind starts becoming more stable. When you operate with a more stable mind, then you're able to deal with the external factors very nicely. Outside things don't disturb you much. And what happens? You're able to give answers. आपके सामने कोई बड़ा सिचुएशन आ गया, यू से दिस इज लॉर्ड्स मर्सी, इससे बहुत खराब होने वाला था, आई एम स्टिल बेटर ऑफ. और आपका कोई बहुत बड़ा नुकसान आ जाते हैं, फिर आप सोचते कि इससे बहुत बड़ा नुकसान होने वाला था, भगवान ने छोटे में ठीक कर दिया. और अगर आपके साथ कुछ बहुत अच्छा भी हो जाता है मटीरियल वर्ल्ड में, तो आप क्या देते हो? यू गिव द क्रेडिट टू द लॉर्ड. ये तो आपके कारण से हो रहा है. हु एम आई? मुझे तो मेरे पिछले कर्म ही नहीं मालूम, आई फॉरगॉटन. ये तो हिसाब किताब सब भगवान पकड़ के बैठे हैं सबका. तो जो जो जीवात्मा को देख के हमें जेलस भी फील होता है, तो हमें ये सोचना चाहिए कि वो कितनी भक्ति करके आया होगा, वो कितना कुछ जमा करके आया होगा, एफर्ट करके आया होगा, आज वो फल खा रहा है. तो अगर मुझे भी ऐसा फल चाहिए सामने वाले के जैसा, तो आई फील जेलस, आई फील इंस्पायर्ड. क्यों ना मैं ऐसी भक्ति करूं कि मुझे एटलीस्ट आगे जाके वैसे फल मिले. Attentive chanting is the only scissor with which we can cut the cords of Maya, the strings of Maya, and detach ourselves, the illusionary energy that is unreal and poisonous, because in the end it leads to immense sufferings. जो केवल माया में जीते हैं ना, उनका अंत भगवान बोलते हैं बहुत खराब. It is very sad because they go in Maya, again they come back in Maya. There is no stop to their cycle. वो एक giant wheel में घूम रहे हैं, और वो giant wheel बहुत अच्छी नहीं है. Later you will get very very bored of this entire thing, and someday you may start doing bhakti and then you will start following the path of Lord. Although Maya illusion is false and temporary, the background of Maya is the supreme magician Lord himself, the personality of Godhead who is Maheshwara, the supreme controller. Since Lord Krishna is the master of the illusionary energy, he can order this Maya, the insurmountable energy, to release his conditioned soul. भगवान ऑर्डर दे सकते हैं माया को, ये मेरा भक्त है, ये मेरा पुजारी है, he has done immense service to me, so he can order माया कि इसको आप रिलीज करो. That sanction comes from the Lord for everybody, for demigods, all the living entities, all the material Everything what you see on earth, moving, unmoving, everything is under the sanction of the Lord. So this sanction can come from the Lord to save you. And when the Lord comes to save you, he may just cancel out all your sins. He can do anything which you have not imagined also. So it is so important to stay connected to Supreme Lord, his lotus feet. It's a safety measure. जैसे चक्की पीसते तो रूपलास प्रभु जी ऑलवेज सेज ग्राइंड होते रहते हैं, जो थोड़े दाने सेंटर में होते हैं वो बच जाते, who are attached, who are sticking themselves to the Lord's feet, they get saved. Eventually they get saved. He does this due to his causeless mercy and the jivas out. He does this due to his causeless mercy for the jivas and his devotees out of his parental affection for them. What is the condition for Lord? He loves us. He just simply loves us. He treats us as his child. So out of parental affection, he has causeless mercy. और जो धरती पर हम देखते हैं ना, एक मदर का लव है चाइल्ड के लिए, लॉर्ड्स लव फॉर द जीवात्मास इज इमेंस, 1,000 times more. That's why he's behind saving us. But because of the mind, we are not understanding his game plan. He treats us like his children, and every birth he gives us a chance to get attached to him. Every birth he's giving us a chance कि एक बार तो ये जीवात्मा मुड़ के जरूर देखेगी मेरे पास. जैसे मेरा बच्चा अब्रॉड चला गया, मुझे भूल गया, मुझे कितना दुख होगा, वही दुख भगवान को हो रहा है हमारी. और केवल हमें सेव करने के लिए बैठे, उन्हें कुछ नहीं चाहिए हमारे से, थोड़ा समय चाहिए और अपनी इंटेलिजेंस को बोल रहे, यू सरेंडर टू मी, आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ इट. His okay. He treats us like his children, and everybody gives us a chance to get attached to him, his holy names, his devotees, Krishna Prasad, etc. Therefore, surrendering to the Lord is the only means to get free from the clutches of Maya, and all the attachments and aversions will be taken care. No problem. He'll take care of everything. It is not possible to control our senses by any external process. But until and unless our senses are engaged in Lord's service, they cannot be put to a higher use. जब तक आप अपने सेंसेस को हायर यूज पे नहीं डाल रहे हो, जब तक आप अपने सेंसेस को भगवान की सेवा में, मेरी इंद्रियां जब तक भगवान की सेवा में नहीं लग रही है, हम उसका कुछ भी नहीं कर पाएंगे. वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू चेंज देम. आर्टिफिशियली वी कैन डू नथिंग अबाउट देम. वी कैन नॉट सप्रेस देम. But until and unless our senses are engaged in Lord's service, they cannot be put to higher use. Only when we get the higher taste, we will let go of the lower things, or else we will always hanker behind material objects, just like a pig. A pig, he loves to eat stool. एक सुअर को क्या अच्छा लगता है खाने में? स्टूल अच्छा लगता है, गंदगी. और उस गंदगी कीचड़ से आप उसको निकाल कर, if you offer him sweets made of sugar and ghee, real ghee, he will never eat it. So, जो मनुष्य भगवान कह रहे हैं माया में इतना अटक चुका है कि उसे डिफरेंस नहीं पता चल रहा है, मैं गंदगी खा रहा हूं या मैं कुछ प्यूरिफाइड एक्शन कर रहा हूं. He doesn't know to make the difference because he is not under Lord's shelter at all. There is no guidance, no direction. So we must never try to artificially suppress our desires. Instead, we should try to know how to use everything for the service of Lord, so that we are not a victim to the material energies. If we renounce things artificially, the slightest of the agitation of the mind will pull us down into the pool of material existence. Example, Ajamila. He got tempted by the prostitute and he had a fall down. And same thing on the devotional path. Haridas Thakur, he was sent, people sent to disturb him. They sent the prostitute. But Haridas Thakur was a very, very pure. He was a very pure devotee. उसी prostitute को उन्होंने एक devotee में change कर. So this is a difference. Material world में we fall down very easily, but devotional world the Lord protects us. He has taken the onus. He even says कि जो मरते समय मुझे याद करता है मैं उसको अपने abode में बुलाता हूँ. छोड़ते नहीं भगवान. This is true result of pure chanting. It has the power to surmount the material energies because Lord and his holy names are not material. Lord और उनका जो holy name है, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is not at all material. It's a transcendental vibration. Hence, it has got the purity to go and change your within. Our within is material, contaminated, but the holy name has the potency to change you from within. Now, there are 4 types of people who never do devotional service. They are so very attached. So, they are Mama Muda. They are called Mudas. Then they are called Naradhamas. And they are called Maya Partha Gyanis. They only know knowledge of Maya. उनको भगवान का कोई नॉलेज नहीं होता, केवल उनको माया का नॉलेज पता रहता है. एंड असुरम भावम अश्रित, हु बिहेव लाइक डेमोनिक पीपल, वो है मनुष्य की योनि में, लेकिन उनका बिहेवियर कंप्लीट तामसिक है. दे आर ओपनली एथियस्ट. दे से देयर इज नो गॉड, देयर इज नो फियर, नो लव, नथिंग फॉर गॉड. Those miscreants who are very grossly foolish, those who are Naradhamas, who are lowest among the mankind, Maya Parthas, whose knowledge has been stolen completely by Maya and the illusionary energy, and now they have become very demonic in nature. Result क्या है माया में भटकने का? You now you have become a very demonic personality. All these four types of people are always working hard day and night, and they manufacture their own ways of living. They have their own plans in life. उनको भगवान का सैंक्शन कुछ भी नहीं पता है कि देयर इज सम सैंक्शन फ्रॉम द लॉर्ड. I have some free will. I'm doing something wrong. They know nothing about it. They just know work hard, earn money, and do sense enjoyment. They have a godless temperament, and they do not know that material energy works fully under the direction of Supreme Lord. It is not independent at all. Under the illusion and modes of passion and ignorance, all their plans are baffled. Just like in case of Hiranyakashipu and Ravan. Now, Hiranyakashipu and Ravan, what they did severe penances and austerities. उन्होंने बहुत तकलीफें they went through. But for what? They never asked for Lord. इतने penances go through करने के बाद, तप करने के बाद, they never asked for Lord. They asked for eternal, में हमारी life eternal हो जानी चाहिए. They asked for benedictions so that they can fight against the Lord. This is their mentality. They both did extreme austerities and penances, but since they always asked for benedictions to lord over the material nature and become eternal, all their plans were smashed, just like dust at the Supreme Lord's feet. What happened to their plans? Jitna bhi benediction manga, what happened to them? They were all smashed by the Lord Himself. तो भले ही आपको demigods कितनी benedictions दे दे, but they are not applicable when Lord comes in the front. जैसे प्रहलाद महाराज को होलिका के गोदी में बिठाया गया था. She had got वरदान from Brahma ji, but what happened? होलिका burnt off. प्रहलाद महाराज को कुछ नहीं हुआ. So that is pure bhakti. Lord himself, Lord in the Narsimha avatar, himself killed Hiranyakashipu, and Lord as Rama killed Ravana. Scriptures reveal that when the baby is in the mother's womb, he keeps praying to the Lord for delivering him and promises to worship him when he is out in the material world. But as soon as he gets out, after his delivery, the child forgets all the difficulties he went into the womb and also forgets what he had promised to the Lord. He gets immediately influenced by Maya. He came in touch with Maya. He forgot everything. And then what happens? He gets influenced by Maya, the illusionary energy. He gets attached to Maya, family, friends, money, possessions, comfort zones, etc. And pulls down again to the pool of material existence and repeats the same cycle again. ये दुर्भाग्य है जीव का. प्रॉमिस कुछ और करता है और बाहर आके फिर कुछ और कर लेता है. From a Krishna conscious perspective, we know that we have lived many lives before accepting many bodies and that there are likely to live many more now. अगर आप ये माया के चक्कर से बाहर नहीं आते तो भगवान कहते हैं आप बहुत टाइम जी चुके हो, आगे भी जियोगे. आपकी बहुत फैमिलीज हो चुकी, बहुत बच्चे हो चुके, बहुत आपने माया कमा ली, धन कमा ली, वो छोड़कर आए. You again starting that material cycle. The person, experience and possessions to which we were so attached in the previous lives are not very significant now at all. जो हम previous life में attachments था, they are zero now. और जो इस life का attachment है, वो भी zero हो जाएगा. So this all has no relevance in the material flow of our existence in the material world. The moment death comes, we drop down all the material bodies, and with it comes an end to our bodily attachments also. तो भगवान कहते हैं कहाँ तक आप अटैच रह सकते हो अपने सेंसेस से, अपने फैमिली वालों से, जिससे भी आपको जो भी लग रहा है बहुत प्रिय लग रहा है, आपकी अटैचमेंट कहाँ तक चलेगी? जब तक ये बॉडी है. जिस दिन एक ग्रॉस बॉडी नीचे गिर गई, डेथ, दैट डे इमीडिएटली यू आर आउट ऑफ एवरीथिंग. आप एक दूसरी एंटिटी बन गए, आप दूसरे स्थान पे चले गए और वो लोग वहीं पे रह गए. कोई मनुष्य आपके साथ न गया, ना आपका कोई पोजेशंस गया, ना आपके पैसे गए. So he is saying, Lord is saying, you are hankering. आपने इतना समय बर्बाद कहाँ किया? To earn all this, to please everyone in the material world, and now you are alone. And अगर आपने भगवान का नाम, गोलोक के प्रेमधन हरि नाम संकीर्तन, वो किया होता, तो मेरा नाम आपके साथ जाता, मैं बोट बना देता उस नाम का, और उस बोट में आप आराम से तर के मेरे पास आते. But we never did all these things. So no one comes with us on the other side, what is actually earned with what is actually earned here in Maya is left after that, and only Harinam it joins us. So Srila Prabhupada, he had a favorite bhajan, Hari Hari Bifale Janam Gavaino, Manushya Janam Paiya, Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya, Janiye Suniye Vish Khaine. So Srila Prabhupada loved this bhajan. I keep it hearing every day. It's got a very beautiful meaning. So I'm just explaining the first three lines that Hari Hari विफले जैसे आपने हरि को विस्मरण कर दिया आपका पूरा मनुष्य जन्म जीरो हो गया उसी वक्त देखो माया में जो पनिशमेंट मिलती है ना सबसे बड़ी पनिशमेंट है कि मुझे भगवान का विस्मरण हो रहा है मुझे भगवान नहीं याद रह रहे मुझे माया याद आ रही है इट्स द बिगेस्ट पनिशमेंट दैट वी कैन गेट हमारी बुद्धि जो हमारे अगेंस्ट चल रही है हमारे अंदर रह रही आई एम लिविंग विद द एनिमी दैट इज द बिगेस्ट पनिशमेंट इसलिए उन्होंने कहा है हरि हरि विफले जन्म गवाइन हो तो जन्म आपका जा चुका मनुष्य जन्म पाइया राधा कृष्ण ना भजिया जानिए सुनिए इतना मैंने सुना भी सबका आई हर्ड फ्रॉम डिवोटीज दैट लॉर्ड इज द हाईएस्ट बट मैंने अपने मन की चलाई बिकॉज आई इज ग्रेट जानिए सुनिए विष खाइनो हम डेली डेली पॉइजन खा रहे हैं जितना हम माया में सबको प्लीज करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं अपना नाम जमा करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं प्रतिष्ठा मान प्राइड ईगो हम क्या खा रहे हैं विष अंदर विष जा रहा है विष जमा हो रहा है और प्योरिफिकेशन कर ही नहीं रहे और उसी विष के साथ वापस आ रहे गोलोक के प्रेमधन हरि नाम संकीर्तन सो फाइनली व्हाट इज द कंक्लूजन गोलोक वापस जाना है तो जितने भी अटैचमेंट्स है दे आर जस्ट कमिंग टू डाइवर्ट अस एंड यू कैन वेरी क्विकली गेट ओवर इट वेरी नाइसली विद गुरु शास्त्र and all the blessings of the Lord, the costless mercy of the Lord. He offered Krishna Prasad. What Srila Prabhupada did, see, now he was alone. He had his Guru's words in his mind, blessings of the Guru. And what he did, he offered Krishna Prasad to all the hippies. He offered them the chanting of the holy names as a means to get out of the cycle of birth and death. And he was extremely successful. Srila Prabhupada was extremely successful. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also propagated the Bhagavad Dham, recommended the people should submissively hear the message of the Lord. At least what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, आपको नहीं करना ना chanting, मुख को नहीं यूज करना ना, don't use your ears, otherwise वो सांप का बिल बन जाएगा लोगों की बात सुनते सुनते और एटलीस्ट वो हरिनाम जाने दो अंदर. Even the lowest of the human beings like the Shudras, Chandalas, Malechas can be delivered by just submissive hearing process. But unfortunately, foolish people have lots of time to hear about sense enjoyable activities and the flickering mundane world, but they have very little time to hear about the eternal guiding force which moves the material world and which moves our life. मनुष्य के पास बहुत कम समय बचा है मंद बुद्धि के कारण कि वो भगवान के बारे में सुनना नहीं चाहता. इससे ज्यादा अनफॉर्चुनेट जीव कोई है ही नहीं. श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु ऑल्सो डिलीवर्ड द टिपिकल फॉलन सोल्स जगह ही मत आए. अगर भगवान चाहे उनका डिवोटी चाहे he can deliver the most fallen soul, but you should be available for that, you should be open for that, at least some hearing has to be done. And he showed that how the mercy of a real and pure devotee is bestowed upon the lowest of the mankind, so the fallen souls can revive their spiritual consciousness only and only by the mercy of Lord. And this is what a pure devotee who is a representation of the Lord does for the material world. Hare Krishna.
Rupanji, please stop recording.